Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another stream, and welcome to the stream. We'll get started in a couple of seconds. Just give me a bit. For some reason, and I'm not too sure why, my computer, it's being slow on Twitter at least. Twitter is like a fail at the moment. I might actually close Twitter. I don't think there's actually any point in me having it open if it's going to be so slow. Sorry if I just went quiet then. It looks like YouTube's being weird. Hopefully it fixes itself up. Okay. Well, I'll take the intro off. Hello everyone, how are we going? Some people have told me, and I don't know if it's still today, but over the past couple of days, YouTube streaming's been like terrible because they're making updates to it. I can tell it's going terrible right now. I'm hoping it fixes itself up. But if we get like maybe 10-15 minutes into the stream and it's stuffing up, I might just have to end it because I don't want to do an hour stream and every single couple of minutes it's going and failing and stuff like that. So I'll monitor it, but let me know if it's a bit just annoying to watch, and if it is like what's the word? Buffering all the time, and maybe other people aren't saying in the chat, refresh the stream. Or refresh the web page, whatever you want to call it, and that should fix it. That tends to fix it like 99% of the time. But let's hope that YouTube is good at this time of the day and it doesn't stuff up. Okay. So welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome everyone that's still coming in, like Jamal, Juan, Zombie Lego, JD. Welcome everyone that's still joining the stream. What's going on? Okay, all good. So just the general, like, what's the word, rules of the stream, if you want to call it, just general, like, things for the stream. Keep the chat nice and civil, nice and nice. No spamming, whether it's emojis on my name or just capital letters and stuff like that. You know, it's most likely your stuff's not going to get recognized, if that makes sense. Yeah, just be nice in the chat, don't try and cause anything. And then if you want to help out the channel, you can super chat by clicking this little dollar emblem down here. You go send a super chat and you can drag up there. And if you do that, your question will get 100% answered, or your comment will get 100% read out, depending on whatever you send, I guess. And if you can't super chat, because some countries and some devices can't super chat, you can click the link at the top of the description, which does say streamlabs.com/Pagey, and you can super chat through or donate through those means if you can't super chat through here. And then also my Patreon is in the description below as well if you want to go check out the rewards and see if you want to be a part of that. So, yep, that's basically it. So welcome everyone to the stream. We'll just get into Sam's $5 super chat right now. Thank you very much for that, Sam. Big RIP to Ralph Dibney. Thoughts on the episode The Dragon. Hopefully we get a bunch of flashbacks from Diaz and see him kick ass this episode. I'm hoping that as well, because I don't know how much they could do in this episode, just based off him going to Bloodhaven. So I have a feeling there's flashbacks. Whether it's extensive or not, I don't know. But we also know there's a subplot with Felicity and Curtis, as well as Oliver out on his own as the Arrow. So depending on how... I can't see those storylines. Like, I guess you could say Oliver being out on his own could be like a decent, like, 10-15 minute storyline for the episode. But they might just save that for the following episode, you know what I mean? And give this focus to... Ricardo Diaz. So we're getting flashbacks, at least a handful of flashback moments. So like 2 or 3 flashback scenes. That's what I'd like to see. Yeah, that's what I'd want to see with that episode. And hopefully we get that. But yeah, RIP to Ralph Dibney, for sure. Matty Giff with the €10 super chat. Might I say, I got to get the symbols. And yeah, I think Barry's point in The Flash is that killing someone should not be your primary goal, as that's murder. I wonder if Caitlin gets Frost back, will be the one person, if you know what I mean. Yeah, with the thing with Barry's point is, like, Barry has a point, but the issue with that is the history of the show, where that's gone against it. Like, last year with Savitar, that was one of their primary goals, was to kill Savitar. And the thing is, it goes against, I can't remember what the term that Barry used was. It was I don't know if it was we never kill or like we never planned to kill or something like that, but they were planning to kill Savitar. You know what I mean? Like, eventually when he, like, turned on them and stuff, like, that was their plan, to kill Savitar. Iris ended up killing Savitar. Like, it's okay if it had never been set up in the show before, but it's been set up. And also, the best example is actually episode, I think it's 2 of season 2, when he kills Sand Demon. Barry's smart. Barry's not dumb. Barry's not like just some idiot that got like speeds to powers. He's smart. He would know that what he did to Sand Demon was going to kill him. He would have known that, and he still did it. So he knew going into that he was going to kill Sand Demon in that episode. So, as I said, it's fine if they'd never done it before. I completely understand Barry's point in that episode. If they had not done stuff in the past, they completely went against that point. But they'd done stuff in the past which completely went against that point. And also, basically, everyone on Team Flash is a murderer, apart from Cisco and Caitlin. Everyone on Team Flash is murdered. Oh, I guess apart from Ralph. Do you know how they're going to defeat DeVoe? I know some information, but I'm not going to do anything on it for a couple of days. But yeah, that's all I can really say. How to kill a Frost's power disappear like permanently? How does that work? Well, just like they explain on the show, like the melting point thing. But the thing they really need to explain on the show is whether DeVoe has the melting point powers, or he's just holding them to transfer to someone. They've sort of, hopefully they dive into that next episode, at least like one scene, whether we see DeVoe, like, you know, do Killer Frost stuff, or if he can give them to someone. That's what I have to wait and see. It will be interesting though, because Amunet Black's meant to be in episode 21, so it'd be pretty interesting if he gave Killer Frost powers to Amunet Black. That'd be pretty interesting. Is there going to be a season 4 of The Flash? We are currently in season 4. Yeah, as I said, sorry. If it's lagging, it's all good on my end. I'm all green, so I'm all green. So I know it lagged on my screen as well. That's why I said YouTube's been really weird with its streaming lately. But it was all, I didn't get any drops in frames then. I had some drops in frames at the beginning of the stream when I basically, as soon as I went live, which is a usual thing because it's trying to, you know, build up. But right then, I had no drops. So it's, as I said, YouTube's been really weird with its stream. And also, writing lag in the stream just I can see it. There's no point. If it lags, there's no point writing in this chat because I've got a little box there that shows me if it's lagging. So writing lag in the stream just clogs up the stream chat. So just don't write lag. You know, there's no point. If it's still lagging now because it shouldn't be, refresh the stream. That's what I said earlier. If it's still lagging like more than it should be, then refresh the stream. Promixia, sorry, with the $2 super chat. What's the enlightenment? Well, I'm guessing it's just to broaden everyone's mind, but I'm hoping that they need to get it, explain it by the end of episode 20. Episode 20 needs to, everyone on the show, everyone that's watching the show should understand what the enlightenment is by the end of episode 20. So then episode 21, 22, 23, they're not cramming stuff in there anymore. That's what they really have to do. So hopefully they do that I don't think they'll do it next episode, but hopefully unless they get Fallout, because I think the reason that they're going for Fallout is to power that device enlightenment thing. I think that's why they're going for him. So if they get Fallout, which I'm guessing they will, just because the Thinker's got everyone so far, then they might explain the enlightenment a bit more, because they would probably use his abilities to power whatever they're trying to power. But yeah. But yeah, in regards to what it is, I think it's just like, it's either broadening people's minds to allow them to actually take in information more, which they sort of set up earlier this season, or he's basically trying to turn everyone into metas again and to take their powers, which I don't know if I know that's a common theory, but I don't know why DeVoe would do that. He's overpowered enough. I don't think he'd have to go to this extent to do something like that again, but I know, we'll have to wait and see. Will Bart Allen ever appear? maybe. I guess one of the big rumors is that the mystery girl is actually just a gender flipped Bart Allen. But we'll have to wait and see. You know, I don't want them to rush Bart in, you know. Because even though he's like, yeah, he's a cool character, I don't think he's essential to have on the show. Like that's, I think, and I don't think he's essential to have on the show. It's just like how having the Tornado Twins isn't essential to have on the show. You don't have to have them on the show, but if they appear, it's cool. But it just hopefully like it works into the show properly. It isn't forced, if you know what I mean. Do I hate Iris this season? I am not a fan of her writing. That's like a common misconception. So everyone's like, oh, you hate Iris. I'm like, I've said this like 1,000,007 times. I don't hate Iris. I want to like Iris, but it's really hard to like Iris when her writing is really frustrating to watch. You know? So hopefully it gets fixed going into next season. Why is Barry so stupid? I ask myself that question every single time I watch an episode in which someone else figures out a situation or a solution or something that Barry should have figured out himself. Don't worry, I think about that all the time. Naruto 0076 with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Naruto. When did Melting Point get caught by DeVoe? Last I knew he was fine and working with Team Flash. Essentially, you know when Thinker, when he was Izzy, had the dinosaur and threw the dinosaur into the pipeline. When Ralph came back out, you saw Null, Melting Point, and Izzy on the ground, and then Folded Man, who is now DeVoe, rose up. He'd taken them out of their cells and took their powers, and then transferred over to Folded Man. It was a really quick scene. It was really weird the way that they shot it. I have a feeling there might be a deleted scene in there somewhere. But yeah, like it was a quick camera angle where it like panned up, and you saw them all on the ground. If you go rewatch it, you'll see it. But yeah. I'm calling it now. Marley's end or Harry defeats DeVoe while Barry's laying on the ground or turns it. It's a typical thing, like Barry on the. There's even like the promo pictures that came out earlier, like today, like a couple of hours ago. There's a shot of literally Barry on the ground looking at someone. So someone's doing something, and Barry's just helpless on the ground again. So it's a typical thing that the show does. Will Laurel be in the Flash this week? Yeah, it's Black Siren. But she's credited on the promo images as Siren X. And like Citizen Cold is credited as Leo X. So it's Black Siren from Earth X. How she factors into it, it's got me beat. I don't know why she would turn that up there. I have to wait and see that. Because it doesn't look like she's working with them. It just seems like she's like a gate crasher almost, or a party crasher. And she's only going to be in that, maybe that scene in the CCPD, but we'll have to wait and see that. I'm interested to see what happens. Do you want Ralph to return next season if he can? Ralph will be back next season. Like I think it's like Hartley Sawyer is back in Vancouver to film for the finale, and he's filmed multiple scenes. So that basically tells you he's back. Like there's no like DeVoe wouldn't be going back to Ralph if he just stays DeVoe. Like why? You know, they've got Neil Sandilands there who plays DeVoe in the finale, and then they've got Hartley Sawyer who played Ralph. So Ralph's back. There's scenes filmed that feel like end of season scenes after the Thinker's defeated. So Ralph will be back. Well, he's alive at least. And I think he'll be back next season. I don't know why they do all this character development for him, then just to kill him off really quickly. So it's annoying that Ralph's gone just because of the manner in which he went. It was just made Barry look like an idiot. But they do that sometimes. So Barry will probably in the next couple of episodes be like, oh, I made a mistake, and he'll try and do his best or change his methods for how he does stuff. But yeah, Ralph will be back, or at least back at the end of the season alive, and I think he'll be in next season just because what do you call it? They did all that character development. Just seemed like a massive waste if they just got rid of it. You know what I mean? Matty Giff with a €2 super chat. Do you think any of the metas can be revived? I think Ralph will be the only one. And the only reason I think Ralph will be the one that's the only one alive is because he's the current host of DeVoe. So if they do something to split DeVoe's mind up and erase him from the host body, Ralph would still be in there. You know what I mean? Maybe the other bus metas could be, do it though. Not do it though. That might come back to life. It just matters if they get their bodies and stuff like that. And it might be harder to sort of figure that out. But Ralph is that's That's why I think Ralph's going to be the only one that survives, because he is the actual host at the moment. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the messages. Do you think Killer Frost? Yeah, do you think Killer Frost can take over DeVoe? I saw people coming up with this theory, which it makes sense. But as I said before, we don't know if DeVoe has actually taken Killer Frost's powers as a form for him to use them, or a form in which he can give them to someone. So that's something that we're gonna have to wait and see, because you got to remember, he's taken Melting Point's abilities. He isn't like getting Melting Point to do something. So what Melting Point could do is that he could take someone's powers and then give them to someone else. So you have to think that's what DeVoe's doing. We'll have to wait and see, though. Like, I'm hoping next episode they sort of explain if he can actually use Killer Frost's abilities, or if he can, you know, just what do you call it? Give them on to someone. But it makes you think, why didn't he take Barry's abilities when Barry was like cemented to the ground? You know, why didn't he just use Null and make him float a bit and then just grab Barry and take his powers? Anyway, I guess it's just they have to allow Barry to keep his powers, I guess, in that situation. But anyway. Gate with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Gate. How do you think they will use Fallout to defeat DeVoe? I don't think they're using him to defeat DeVoe. I think they're just getting him just to keep him away from DeVoe. And I think the reason that DeVoe wants him is to power that enlightenment device. I think, is it a satellite? Is everyone like on board that it's a satellite? They never say if it's a satellite or not, but it looks like something that would go up and it would just like spread dark matter or something over people. I don't know, is everyone on board that it's a satellite, or does everyone think it's something that they'd put on the ground and it might form like a barrier, a dome or something? I don't know. Satellite or something that goes on the ground, what does everyone think? Because the schematics don't really confirm anything. It was hard to sort of pick it out. But yeah, I don't think they're going to, unless they want to chuck Fallout in like an anti-bomb shelter, if that makes sense, like something that can't explode from the inside, chuck DeVoe in there with him and see if he just dies or something, if they want to do that. Everyone thinks it's a generator. Or Austin at least thinks it's a generator. I think someone else said generator as well. Anyway. Markel Scott with the $3 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Markel. Hopefully that's the correct way to pronounce your name. How do you think DeVoe will be beat? Just tuning in. Thank you very much for that, Markel. Hopefully once again that I'm pronouncing the name right. I don't think it's gonna. I think that like there is. I know from the finale film there is like big set scenes and stuff like that. But I think what it's going to come down to is like DeVoe's relied a lot on technology and stuff this season. So I think his inevitable downfall and like the breaking up of his mind, if that makes sense, will come down to technology, or at least some form of technology. But Barry still has to like do some physical stuff to get him into a situation to do that. But then again, you got to remember, DeVoe is OP as hell currently. DeVoe is so OP, it's not even funny. So really you could just get some epic battles and stuff, like, you know, because he can technically fly because he's got Null's abilities, or at least in some degree fly. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying to like hold off a sneeze. I think I'm good. So he's overpowered as hell now. So you could just get like DeVoe walking through the streets and stuff like that, and Barry trying to take him on. Yeah, I don't know. It could just be a physical thing, but I think like some form of technology has to be used to like split his mind and take away his abilities, if that makes sense. Is the Enlightenment be like the Myriad? Is that the thing from Supergirl? I think it was. I guess, but I guess it's similar. That's probably the best way to put it. It's probably similar, but a different end goal. Because the Myriad was like for like control and stuff like that. But the Enlightenment might just be for broadening minds or creating metas. It's hard to tell, to be completely honest. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully in the next 1 or 2 episodes, they like explain and like make sure that everyone watching the show knows what the Enlightenment is, because it's a bit confusing at the moment. Naruto 0076, the $2 super chat. Bebo vs Malice, best fight ever. I want gifts. Yeah, Bieber versus Malice. I think that's going to be a hard scene to take, or final villain battle, if you want to call it. I think it's going to be a hard one to top for this season. Most random but best fight scene ever. They need Bieber to fight Devo. I think Bieber's going to have... I think we just might get a show called Bieber and he just takes on every single villain of the Arrowverse. What's my favourite DC TV show? Which between... Like, this season it's Legends, but overall it's between Flash and Arrow. I always have a soft spot for Arrow, so I might say Arrow. But yeah. What time is it where I am? It is currently 7:20 in the morning. So if I'm yawning and stuff, that's because I only woke up. Actually, I woke up at like 5 o'clock and I couldn't get back to sleep. So I've just been like stirring, to be completely honest. But yeah. Do I still watch Black Lightning? Yeah, I uploaded a review for the finale yesterday. Disappointed that you didn't know that. But yeah, you can go watch my review for it's basically like a whole season 1 review. I get my whole overthoughts of season 1 in that video. When do you think Godspeed can make an appearance? I don't know. To be honest, like, I know everyone's like, oh, Godspeed hype, but Godspeed is like a pretty average character. Like, the only thing that really goes for him is his suit. Like, that's the coolest thing about him, is his suit. Like, if they did him as a season villain, they'd have to change up his story like so much. It's not even funny, because his story at the moment, like, that's in the comics, like he's like, if you want to, like, his basic comic arc is basic as hell. Like, it's not even interesting. Like, it really isn't interesting. Like, the coolest part about him, as I said, is his suit. So they brought him onto the show. It had to be changed up completely. Like, they could take elements from the comics, but like, if you wouldn't be basing it off the comics, because it's a really basic, really short story. If they're going to do a season-long villain. Do you think Black Lightning, could be in next season's crossover? It just matters what they have for the show, like what plans they have. Because if they're still world building, then don't. You know, if they're still world building their own sort of thing with all those different possible metahumans that we saw, then there's no real need to rush it into a crossover. And also matters if how many episodes they get next season. If they get a 13 episode season for next season as well, then there's no point. But if they're doing like 18, then maybe you could work it in. Melting Point is DeVoe's chair's tentacles replacement. Well, not really, because Melting Point never got to actually use the abilities he took. He was just like a transferer, so he could take someone's abilities, store them, and then give them to someone else. So he was like, almost like an envelope, if that makes sense. Like, he was taking someone's powers, storing them in an envelope, and sending them off somewhere and giving them to someone else. He actually couldn't use the powers. So that's why with Killer Frost, he took the powers, but we actually never saw him use Killer Frost abilities. So once again, that's something they have to clarify, but the Melting Point's abilities aren't actually like a replacement for the device he made to take abilities. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DeVoe could give the Killer Frost powers to his wife. He could give them to Amy the Black. He could give them to, who knows? Like, he could give them to multiple people. Tony with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Tony. Big bads for each show next season. Your choice. Flash, Cobalt Blue, because he's the only logical one to do. So do Cobalt Blue. Legends, there's a couple that you can do, like some like sort of like underworld stuff, like supernatural stuff, like Nick Necro. Demons 3 would be pretty cool. It depends like who else they bring in, because as I said in my Legends video after it's ended, if they bring in Pandora, then you can do like the 7 deadly sins, because it's associated with her story, and it would make sense if you introduced a new character that is connected to the villain in some way. But yeah, like, it just matters what characters they bring in, but there's heaps they could do. Yeah, I know my screen's flickering. I think it was fine last stream. Like, I did it like once or twice. I don't really know why it does it. I think I'm gonna have to like uninstall OBS and reinstall it, because it's only been doing it like the past like 4 streams or something. I don't know what happened. It's really weird. But just ignore it. Try and ignore it. Oh, I've lost my little page here. Here we go. Callum J with a £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Callum. Why bring Cobble Blue when the Flash is so fast now? Well, Cobble Blue can take speed. Like, he can take speed and then channel it, whether it's through him using speed or through other things that he uses. And he's a much more personal villain for the Flash if they do like Eddie Thawne. And you got to remember, like, Arrow did something. Like, you got to remember next season the Flash is season 5. And remember what what do you call it? Arrow season 5 did, where basically just took the show back to season 1 and had like a lot of like homages to season 1 and like all the flashbacks that led into the events of season 1 and stuff like that. The Flash could do that as like almost like a rebuilding phase for the show, and you bring in Eddie Thawne. It's repercussions from the end of season 1, basically like what Arrow season 5 was. I think that'd be the perfect way to do it. Because really, like, everyone's like, oh, do the Rogues. Rogues are so difficult to do, and now Captain Cold's gone. Is it really worth doing the Rogues if Captain Cold isn't there? You know what I mean? Godspeed. I'm sick of hearing it. Like, and they could just do like another cliche speedster villain. Cobble Blue can be a speedster if he wants to, but but he's not a speedster like by default, if that makes sense. So I think he's like the perfect villain to do next season, because you still get around the loophole of him not being a speedster villain, but he can still use speed, if that makes sense. So yeah. Flash or Daredevil? Flash. No, I don't think I'm going to go into a Godspeed rant. I think I'll leave it for now. Okay, I thought my computer was being really weird then. Anarude, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Let me know in the chat if I haven't, with the £2 super chat. Where would you rank the Arrowverse heroes? Well, I'm just going to do the main ones, because I'm not going to go through every single one. But like in regards to the main ones, like, what, in regards to their power set, or how, in regards to power set, I guess it's what, Supergirl, Flash, and then, oh, I guess Supergirl, Flash, Black Lightning, Arrow, and then I guess if we're going to take the Legends leader, we go Sarah Lance, and then I guess Sarah Lance is last. Which isn't a what do you call it? An insult. It's just how it goes, I guess. In regards to how much I like them, I would probably, I don't know, Current Barry is really annoying me because he's being an idiot. But overall, like over the seasons, I'd probably go Barry, then Oliver, then Sarah Lance, then Black Lightning, then Supergirl. That's probably the best way to go. Do I think Barry will use a thinking cap? I don't think there's a need to do it, to be completely honest. You explained the title stuff yet? I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Like, Ralph died, that equals a tragedy, and Barry's an idiot, that equals a stupidity. Thought that was pretty self-explanatory. Leonard Taggart with a £2 super chat. I liked Iris this episode. I don't know why. I thought she was the same as she is the whole season. Like, the thing that they needed to work on, like the Flash always does it. It's, and I guess the whole Arrowverse does it. Is that, like, they try to be realistic in some sense, but then they go against all realism. So like the best example of that is when you see like someone like Iris or Felicity, or even someone like Wynn on Supergirl's role, be able to take down someone that's much more skilled than them. And it makes no sense. Like, where do they get that training? Where does this all line up? It really doesn't make sense. So like in the crossover, we had Felicity and Iris in like the what do you call it? The vents or whatever you want to call them, like the vents, and then dropping down, and then taking out Nazi soldiers and stuff. I'm like, no, like that's so unrealistic. It's not even funny, and just to the point where I'm like who thought that was a good idea? And then, like, I didn't really mind the whole Iris and Marlize fight until the point where Iris stabbed herself in the stomach or somewhere like that, and then she's walking around with a sling. I was like, that doesn't add up. But anyway, it's just like there's stuff that isn't realistic there, and it's just like little things like that, like sort of like tick me off. Like what's the other, like, oh, it happens to win all the time on Supergirl. Like I think it's gonna happen to win next week. I think it's even a shot. No, like if you look at the thing, she drives it in here. It's not in the shoulder. It's like here or something. It's so I was like, where did the sling come in? Like, watch the thing again. She like stabs her in like, I guess like the side of the rib cage. It's really weird. It's a really weird thing. It wasn't the shoulder. Yeah, it wasn't the shoulder. But then like they have the whole sling thing. I was like fair enough, she had like a bandage going around her like that, or we saw her getting bandaged up, but she's walking around with a sling, which is like not what you would do in that situation. I don't know, it's really weird. I think there's a situation with Winn in this week's episode of Supergirl where you're going to get an example of that as well. Like, he's got no skill as well, but he's probably going to be taking on people that are more highly skilled than him. It just doesn't make sense to me. Naruto 0076, thank you very much for that. I know I have some, what do you call them? Streamlabs, which I'll get to in a second. It sometimes seems like DeVoe designed the bus meta's powers. I just don't see how he knew the powers they'd each get. Yeah, I know. But as I said, there's still episodes to come this season, and I know in the finale, I think there's like a flashback scene, or some sort of scene that goes to like, whether it's a flashback or like some sort of dream sequence. If I don't really want to spoil it, but like some sort of dream sequence where they might explain that. But yeah, I like to wait until the whole season's over before I judge that, because they could explain that. But yeah, I can understand why that would be an issue at the moment. It just seems a bit too coincidental. But then there are other powers which, like, does DeVoe really need them? Like, I guess Kilgore he needs, but does he really need like the ability to shrink and expand things? Does he really need Black Bison's abilities? Does he really need well, who else does he really need? Is there another one that does he really need those powers? Becky Sharp is overpowered as soon as you have her powers. But yeah, Iris didn't stab herself in the shoulder. Go watch the scene again. She stabs herself in like the rib cage. It's I don't know. Yeah, she grabs. There's no way she could stab herself in the shoulder because you can't like reach that high up anyway. Oh, okay, I've just tripped out. I'll do this Streamlabs first. Where am I? From Austin with a $1 donation. When do you think we will see Earth 3 and Jay in the new Speedster? Probably next season. I don't think we're going to see him this season. Just because I haven't heard anything about him on set, to be completely honest. So I think we're going to be seeing him next season. With the new Speedster. And I think that makes sense. Just there's no need to rush it in, especially when this season isn't about speedsters. So I think it'd be better if we did it next season as well. I think it's safer to just leave it till then, and it's a bit smarter as well. But yeah. Tyler with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Tyler. Is that Black Siren in the Flash 4x19 promo photos? It is Black Siren, but it looks like it's, well, they're calling her Siren, and it looks like it's Siren from Earth X. So she's obviously going to follow Leonard Snart over, or Leo Snart over from Earth X for some reason to deal with Fallout and go against what they're doing. I don't know, I have to wait and see. A bit confused as to what's going on there, but as I said, they're not going to explain everything in the promo pictures and the trailer, so we're just going to have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah. Ainsley Farrar with the, hopefully I pronounced the last name correctly. Sorry if I haven't. With the £2 super chat, DeVoe taking Ralph's body could be easily prevented. Oh yeah, easily. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing of why it was a bit stupid. The whole end sequence. Sort of get a migraine thinking about it now. But yeah, it could have been done much better. But I think it's all. So DeVoe has those abilities, but also Barry's like kicking himself, and he like strives. to do better, if that makes sense. Someone... Sam asked, am I doing a birthday stream? Probably not. Well, actually, technically, it'll be the day before my birthday. So before Supergirl, that'll be like the closest stream I do to my birthday, because it'll be the day before my birthday, my time. So on the 24th of April for me, but it's the 23rd of April for everyone else. So in this Monday, I guess, for everyone, I'll be doing a birthday stream, if that makes sense. So be there or be square. But on my actual birthday, like, if that's when Avengers comes out. So I'm saying Avengers, like, I guess, like, maybe like 2 days before a lot of you guys are, maybe 3 days, depending on time zones. So prepare to get spoiled. I'm going to DM everyone here on the YouTube messages and tell everyone who dies and stuff like that. So you're all going to be triggered. But, yeah, so obviously I'm not going to do it on my birthday because I'm not doing stuff that day. But yeah, so like the day before, I guess, my time. You're saying a Tuesday. Well, I'm saying a Wednesday, so that would technically be around the same time would be seeing it. Maybe. I know I have to wait and see. But everyone else is going to be triggered. It's actually weird. They're not doing, from what I know at least, unless they're just like doing a lesser amount of it, they're not doing preview screenings in Australia. Just because of the date it comes out here. Because we would technically get the preview screenings first. Like, we would have got the preview screening before the actual world premiere, which I don't think they wanted, because I don't think... because from what I remember, we were like the first, I think the Australian media premiere were the first one to see Batman v Superman. And there was a lot of spoilers coming out of that, and people weren't very happy. So they had to, like, now we only get... I think the only movie that's got, like, more, like, the comic book movie that got more than a couple of days in advance was Black Panther. And that's because there wasn't really much to spoil in regards to the larger MCU. Like, Black Panther was a fairly contained movie in itself. What do you think was stupid in The Flash? Like, Barry's morals. When, like, he's completely gone against those morals in the past, and everyone on the team has, apart from Cisco and Caitlin. Markel with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Markel. Does Gideon know the future? If so, can't they ask how to beat DeVoe? I guess beat DeVoe. Yeah, that is true. I think that's what Harry was doing as to why he knew so much. He was basically using Gideon's like future intelligence to do certain things. But I'm really intrigued to see what happens with Harry, because we didn't get we just saw him get zapped, and that was about it. So we're gonna have to find out next episode what's going on there. But I don't know if they will use Gideon in regards to that. I think it's just more of a what do you call it, like a Harry sort of storyline in regards to Gideon. Why don't I upload these later? What do you mean they're strange? Just because it just fits in, because then I get a couple of hours to take a break before Arrow's on. Did I see the new Deadpool trailer? Yes, I did. Which I was surprised they like dropped it, they made a joke about the DC universe, and even like Thanos and stuff like that. I was surprised they could name drop that stuff. Anna Rude with the £2 super chat. Why doesn't Supergirl ever travel back in time? Well, can she? Like, have they really established that the ability of hers? Please upload these so people can view what they've missed. It just caused too much clutter on my channel. Yeah, like there's only like a certain type of live stream that I'll keep up, and that's usually like a crossover stream, or if it's something that I want people to see after the fact. But these are more just for like, if you're here, and we just have a chat. Am I more excited for Arrow or Gotham? Well, probably Arrow, because Gotham sort of ended its most interesting storyline for the season until the last 3 episodes of the season. So I'm looking more forward to Arrow this week, because it's actually got stuff to do with the main villain. But like Gotham's, like they're done with the Joker stuff and Jerome stuff. So we're not going to get that for like with the last 3 episodes of the season. So yeah. People are still believing that your April Fool's joke, is real. Yeah, I know. People are still going on about it, which is surprising. When do you think they'll show Dawn again? Episode 19 or episode 20 is probably your best bet. And then she's meant to be in the finale as well. And that's apparently when you're meant to learn who she is. Did I hear about Arrow's new showrunner? Yeah, it's Beth Schwartz, who's been like a co-executive producer for like, I think the past 2 seasons. It's interesting she's going into it alone. Like, I think that's a massive risk. I've never, like, especially with a show... The only thing that helps her is that she might have a lot of co-executive producers. So the position that she was in, she might have like 2 or 3 co-executive producers that will support her and like help her. But if she's out there on her own, then she could face a lot of issues. Will I make Gotham videos? Not this season. The reason I didn't do Gotham this season was because it's on the same day as Arrow. It's just too much. So hopefully next season Arrow maybe moves days so they're not on the same night, which would help a lot. And then Gotham could be coming to the channel. What if my April Fool's joke came true? Well, not this season it won't be, but it could in the future. Should Pied Piper return the Flash? Maybe if he fit, I guess. I think it's more questionable like where is he, because he's technically meant to be good now on the show. So like where is he? Why does the Team Flash never invite him over or something like that? What happened to Guggenheim? He stepped down to take on another show. I think he's going to another like a higher up show. So I think it's another show under the Berlanti production sort of thing, but I think it's on a bigger network. And he's going to be the showrunner on that show. So he's getting paid more and stuff like that. So you might think like a lot of people were celebrating like Guggenheim got fired. It's like, no, Guggenheim got technically promoted by Berlanti to take on a bigger show. Because there must have been like the trust that Arrow could probably run without that much of an experience. Like you really need a good showrunner in a show's first couple of seasons. And then really after that, it doesn't really matter too much who's running it, unless there's a massive shift in the show's tone and the direction it's going, which Arrow is doing in season 7 by the looks of it, which is the worry I have. But you know, I don't like to judge before something has happened, so I'll wait and see what happens there. But Guggenheim, like I saw a lot of people saying like celebrating like Guggenheim got fired, and I was like, he didn't get fired, he got promoted, and I'm pretty sure he's laughing in his bank account because he's obviously gotten a raise. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, Ainsley. I did. I think it's because someone else super chatted and it pushed up, and I just read Mark Hell's instead of yours. Sorry, Ainsley, for that. Ainsley with a £2 super chat. DeVoe taking Ralph's body could easily be. Oh no, I did answer that, Ainsley. But I'll re-answer it. It's just like, yeah, it could have been easily prevented, and that's like the whole reason that I was sort of annoyed. But it had to happen in regards to like, because they obviously needed DeVoe to have Ralph's abilities at that point. It's just the execution of it in regards to like the whole story around all the different characters was fairly poor. It wasn't the best, to be completely honest, which is why I was a bit annoyed with it. Naruto 0076. Let me just fix up this chat. It's gone all crazy. Naruto 0076 with the $5 super chat. How are you going to see Infinity War when the world is supposed to end Monday? Is the world supposed to end Monday? Why is it meant to end Monday? What's Monday? The 23rd? What does the 23rd of April have to do with the world ending? Am I missing out on a meme here? Am I lacking meme knowledge at the moment? Because I have no idea what's going on here. The world's supposed to end Monday. Am I missing out on some vital information here? The rapture. Is the rapture happening? Okay. I'm completely out of the loop on this one, to be completely honest. The world will end because of Thanos. Well, that is true. It wouldn't surprise me that that's what happens at the end of Infinity War. I'm very excited to see it. Like, it's the closer it gets, the more excited I get. Daredevil, Arrow. Thanos will throw a planet at us, or probably like a moon or something. Oh. It's because of tilted towers. Is that because of it? Researchers state that a mystery planet will crash into Earth on April 23rd. Or maybe it is Thanos throwing a goddamn Earth at us. What the hell? Yikes. Arrow Season 1 or Flash Season 1? Probably Flash Season 1. But if you're going to do Arrow Season 2 or Flash Season 2, then Arrow Season 2 wins. Do I play Fortnite? I haven't played it in a while, but it got an update yesterday, so I might jump on, I don't know, later this afternoon or something. We have Bebo. Thanos is dead. We have a Bebo. That'd be a pretty good meme. I'm surprised that maybe wasn't a joke on the Legends finale. Or was it? I don't think it was, but that'd be a good one. Best Arrow season, Season 2. Arrow Season 3 or Flash Season 3? Probably Flash Season 3, but they're fairly close. Arrow Season 7 Big Bad. It could be multiple things. They could literally revive a villain from the past. Or bring back like a former Ra's al Ghul. That'd be pretty interesting. I have to wait and see though. It's hard to tell with Arrow. They sometimes just pull out the villains from nowhere. Like with Flash, you can sometimes get a hint at what they could be doing. Did you cry when Ralph's body got took over? No, because I could tell it was going to happen. It's like when Laurel died. Everyone, like I was just like, yeah, but everyone knew Laurel was dying. Just like how everyone knew Ralph was going to die. It sort of like desensitizes you to what's going to happen. Flash or Iron Fist? Flash. I'd like to see Komodo. Well, they did Komodo in Season 3 of Arrow. And like Simon LaCroix, I don't know I can't remember. Did he die? No, I don't think he died. I don't know what happened to him. He was in Season 3 though for like one episode. It was the most random appearance, and I couldn't believe they wasted Komodo for that. I'm not saying that Komodo should have been a big bad, but just for that one episode, I was like, what the hell? Tailored for, why ignore me? I'm not ignoring, it's just that there's comments. I can only read one comment at a time. If Devoe took away Killer Frost's powers, did he also take her conscience? So if he tries to use her powers, he will be controlled by her, and what if that's how he's defeated? No, because he used Melting Point's ability. So he didn't do what he did to like Ralph, where he went, oh, there's your head, and I've got it, and he took her powers and all those other metas and stuff like that. He used Melting Point's abilities, and what Melting Point's abilities are, it's basically a storage bank for powers. So he can take someone's powers, store it, and then give it to someone else. Obviously, they could change it up and he can actually use those powers, but from what we've seen so far with Melting Point, he's just a storage bank. So he can give those powers to someone else at some point, whether it's Marlize, whether it's Amina Black, whether it's some random, he can give them the Killer Frost powers. What did you think of Devoe's fresh cut? I was surprised by it. I thought it was a bit random, to be completely honest. But I wasn't expecting it. Why didn't Melting Point steal Devoe's powers when they touched? Got me beat. I'm guessing because Melting Point maybe has to use his hands. I don't know. Cal is downstairs. What is the Arrow hype? Arrow's on today. Get hyped. Why would Devoe need Black? Yeah, it's just like, why would why would he need Black Bison's powers? Why would he need what's the dude that can make shrink and expand things? But Dwarf Star, why would he need Dwarf Star's abilities and stuff like that? Does he really need them? Probably not. Krypton ain't all that great. Yeah, I'm surprised by like the hype around Krypton. Like everyone was going, "Oh, yesterday's episode's a 10 out of 10." I was like, "Was it really though?" Because I was watching it, I was fairly bored until, and like even the big revelation was not that exciting. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's happening." I was sort of expecting that to happen on the show at some point though, because they're doing everything Superman, so I was expecting him to show up at some point. But I'm not. It's not. It's okay to watch. Like it's not. It's not like, oh, really boring, but like it's just really dull. It's so dull. It's almost like it's the comparison to it is Inhumans, and it is Inhumans. It's just really dull. It looks really pretty, and the production value is on point, but it's just really dull to watch. You know, I don't know if it's just me. Honestly, if it gets renewed for season 2, I would be very, very surprised. I just don't. They've handled the show fairly poorly in regards to just like excitement levels. You know, chicken tenders or chicken nuggets depends what mood you're in. Whether you just want a quick one bite or whether you want to be holding something and chewing on it. Depends what you are, what mood you're in, I guess. So guys, we're going to stream for like another 10 minutes and then we're going to, end the stream. Because this has gone very, very quickly, this stream, to be completely honest. But, yeah. Black Lightning or Luke Cage? Black Lightning, because Luke Cage's second half of the season was quite terrible. Yeah, it's just... The Krypton is just like... All the big things, like... I guess they're surprising happening at that point, but you're expecting them to happen at some point that season. You know what I mean? Like, I think everyone's expecting Superman to show up at one point, you know? Whether it be, like, just the back of him or something like that. Because I think they already said that Segel, like, the main character, is meant to go to present day. I think that's what they said. So he's going to see Superman doing crap or something. So, anyway. Luke Cage Season 1 versus Luke Cage Season 2. Well, I haven't seen Luke Cage Season 2, so I have no idea. Oh. The Dark Knight or Logan? Probably Dark Knight. Ugh. Do I like this season of The Flash? Yeah, I like. I'm probably one of the few that actually likes it in regards to a YouTube standpoint. Like I saw, like someone was like, it was only like three episode reviews ago, and I was like, all you do is crap on the show, and I was like, I feel this person just watched like one review and just ignored anything positive I said about the show. Yeah, that's the issue with doing like YouTube and stuff and doing like a review and some sort of critical standpoint on a show, is that people get triggered as soon as you say something that's against what they think of the show. So if they think the show is bad and you say something good, they go, oh, you suck up to the show. If they think the show is really good and you say one thing that's really negative, then they'll say that you shit on the show all the time. If you watch my reviews for this season, you know I'm probably one of the few that actually likes this season of the show. Things frustrate me, but the actual storyline I'm actually fairly, for the most part, enjoying. I bought a box set of the whole series of Smallville for $77. I'm up to season 2. Yeah, well, that should keep you occupied for a while. Good old Smallville. Did you know people ship Caitlyn and Harry? Well, I guess anyone will. Someone will ship anything. Well, some people will ship anything. You know, there's probably people that ship Iris and Wally, to be completely honest. You know what I mean? You just get stuff like that. Do I watch Power Stars? I literally have no idea what that is. Yeah, exactly. Like Iris and Wally, people would ship that, you know. Some people ship Iris and yeah, well, that's people ship like Felicity and Laurel and stuff like that. I saw the first episode of Black Lightning. I thought it was incredibly boring. Does it get better? It's very good, the first season. I can't remember what happens in the first episode. From what I remember, it was all world building. Like, they did a very good job in world building in the first episode, and I think that's one of the biggest compliments I gave. Like, it basically let you know who most people were on the show pretty quickly. When is Wally West coming back to the Flash? Your guess is as good as mine. He might appear in it. He'll probably appear in an episode next season. But I think he's just going to be sticking with the Legends for a while. West Allen or Snowberry? I don't ship stuff, so I can't really give an opinion on that. Haven't watched the Deadpool 2 trailer. Yeah, I did. I thought it was very good. When does that come out? Early May, I think it is. Comes out like what, a couple of weeks after Infinity War. I can't believe it's already towards the end of April. This year has gone so quickly. It's ridiculous. Like, the shows are going to be over for this season before you know it, and then it's going to be new seasons of the show. Time's going too fast. Infinity War is the day after my birthday. Well, Infinity War is the day of my birthday, so suck that, Sol. I'm joking. How do I watch Krypton? With my eyeballs. It's a new invention. Have I seen the new episode of Riverdale? It's not very good. Also, season 1 has 13 episodes, season 2 has 22 episodes. They just keep stretching it out. Yeah, that's a typical thing that the CW does when a show's very popular. They'll try and stretch it out as much as they can for the season 2. It wouldn't surprise me next season if they go down to like 18. It was a musical episode. It was basically what I was expecting. I was not expecting the ending, though. I won't spoil it if you haven't watched Riverdale, if you do watch it. But I couldn't believe what happened at the end. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. I've heard Beth Schwartz is an Elicity shipper. Yeah, she's a pusher of Elicity. When is Black Lightning Season 2 coming out? I really don't know. Well, I'm guessing we're going to find out leading up to Comic-Con what's going on there. Because I probably release a scheduling for next season of the CW shows. Maybe like a month before Comic-Con. I'm hoping at least. And we might know more about what's going on then in regards to like when Black Lightning's coming out and how many episodes it gets. Am I doing an Infinity War video, like a review? Maybe. Wait and see though. It's more likely than not I will do it, but I'm not making any promises. Cupid is the worst Arrow villain. There's been some worse ones. It's all good, BTK. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually going to end the stream in like a couple of minutes. Will Black Lightning be in the next crossover? I wouldn't count on it, to be completely honest. yeah, I just saw like nothing on my end dropped. It's just I don't know what it is with YouTube. The thing is that actually like yeah, if it ever drops like that, just refresh. I wasn't gonna say. It's weird with the whole why YouTube struggles with the streaming side so much when Twitch is like dominating. You know what I mean? Like Twitch is dominating the whole thing, and like they still struggle with their streaming service. Like as I said, on my if I was streaming on Twitch right now, there'd be no drops because on my end it's perfect. It's like around like the 2,500 to 3,000 it should be on. But on YouTube, it's like lagging all the time when it's not my fault on my end. So I don't know if they're ever gonna fix it. They really need to, otherwise they're just gonna get swallowed by Twitch. In regards to the streaming side, no one's gonna stream on YouTube. Like I'll still stream on YouTube because I just don't see. I only stream like once or twice a week, so it doesn't really. I don't really see the need to swap over. But like for others, like gaming people, you know, it's a killer. What is Cobalt Blue's powers? Like he has like a talisman which you can create stuff with. So it's almost like Green Lantern's abilities, but a bit not as extreme. And then he can also take speed. He can take stuff from people. So it's almost like it's almost like DeVoe's powers, I guess, but a bit more specific. So with if he was going after Barry, it would take his speed and stuff like that. Do I think Arrow will be good tonight? I hope it is. I'd be disappointed if it wasn't. Well, anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I've actually gone a couple of minutes over time. Sorry if you've just joined, but, you know, this is like the time I usually end it. But thanks for everyone that tuned in. As I said, I'll be streaming on a couple of hours before Supergirl on, I guess, Monday, American time. But it's also like the day before my birthday then, so but technically be like a birthday stream if you want to call it. So I might stream for like an hour and a half that day. And yeah, all that good stuff. So thanks for everyone that tuned in, everyone that super chat and all that good stuff, and just supported the stream and all that good stuff. I've said stuff way too much in that past couple of sentences. Stuff. But yeah, stick around later today for my Arrow stuff. Stop saying stuff. Anyway, my Arrow video. And yeah, I'll catch you then. And laters. Goodbye.